¿Qué tal, queridos amigos del comercio? Bienvenidos a Voces, el espacio donde están las personas que hacen la noticia de último momento. En esta ocasión recibimos a Becky Bavinger de Bloomberg Philanthropies, que viene acá a explicarnos algunas cosas sobre lo que tiene que ver con la movilidad de los ciudadanos. Esta organización Bloomberg está a tope con lo que tiene que ver con la movilidad de los ciudadanos en todo el mundo, en realidad. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Jorge.
That's okay. Thank you very much for being here. We're going to talk about this important issue about traffic and risk health, these kind of things. Welcome here to Ecuador. So just tell me, how do you feel in the city traffic in the Quito's streets?
So far in Quito, I've seen things that I see in many cities around the world that have a problem of road crashes and fatalities and injuries, where the roads are designed mostly for cars.
Okay.
And we are trying to promote designing our road infrastructure for all road users, including pedestrians and bicyclists, so that they too can be safe when using the roads.
So how was your experience here in Quito? Maybe you were traveling in the metro. How is your experience here in Quito?
Yeah, so far it's been really wonderful.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've had a chance to walk around one of your parks, the Park Carolina.
La Carolina.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and to see, public space being used and offering a chance for families and people to play sports and having that investment in a public space is really key. I took the metro a few times. It's very clean.
Okay.
I know it's really new, so
Yeah.
it was very efficient. Investments in public infrastructure like that are also really great. And then on the roads, I saw some really good infrastructure, pedestrian crosswalks, wide sidewalks, so pedestrians have a safe place. But I did see some high speeds, some roads that had a speed limit of 90 kilometers per hour. And we advocate for cities to follow the World Health Organization recommendations of no more than 50 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, right. So that is a problem here in Ecuador.
Yes, it's a problem in many cities. In Latin America, there are a few examples of cities like Bogota, which has reduced their speed limit to 50 kilometers, but most cities have not.
So it is a political problem here with these kind of things, I know.
I think it's political, and it's also the education and the road safety culture is what we call it, because a lot of people, they think if you have slower speeds, you're going to slow down commerce, and it would be bad for the economy. But actually, we have dozens of studies and data to show that those lower speed limits, you're improving safety, but you're also boosting economy because you're going to promote people walking. And where do they walk to? They can go into your shops and buy things and engage in your economy. And then you don't have the bad crashes that lead to healthcare costs. So it's actually a win-win to have those lower speeds.
I understand, but why is road safety a public health issue around the world? You have many studies about this, but why it is a public health issue?
So road traffic injuries are the leading cause of death for 5 to 29-year-olds around the world. So more than anything else you can think of, it's the motor vehicle injuries that lead to fatalities for everyone 5 to 29. In Ecuador, road injuries are the 7th leading cause of death. That's number 7 for all ages. This is because, again, there hasn't been enough investment in road design for people. Road design has been for cars. And now we have more people coming into cities, interacting and walking and trying to bike, which is great. That's what we want to see. But they're engaging in roads that are not designed for their safety. So we need more investments in that better design. And we need more speed control.
Yeah. Why is it so difficult for citizens and authorities to understand that road safety is a public health issue? Why do you think is that?
Well, I think it's not just the health implications. I'm a public health specialist, so I come at it from that health perspective that we want people to have long, healthy, good quality lives. And getting people to walk and use public transportation has so many benefits. But again, it's really about how do we want to design our cities and our economies? And do we want people to have good quality of lives where you have the ability to walk and to ride a bike and go to a public park? Or do we want everyone in a private car? And, so it's this dichotomy of choice. And I think that we haven't done a good enough job yet as a community reaching out to everyone and convincing them that they need to be a road safety advocate.
Do you think that Quito is in a good way or a path to understand that, again, the road safety is a public health issue?
I think they are, yes. So Bloomberg works with 27 cities in 15 countries around the world. And I would definitely not say that Quito is in the bottom.
Yep.
I think they're maybe not the top, but they're close to the top in terms of what they're doing and their investments and their willingness to adopt best practice recommendations from the World Health Organization and World Bank and other leading institutions. There are definitely areas to improve, but I was just at a launch today of the new road safety report from the National Traffic Agency, and publishing the data is the first step to really bring the public along with you so they understand the problem. We also had a training of police on speed control.
Yep.
And again, having police out there controlling speed is so critical. So Quito's doing a lot of really amazing things.
Oh, that's great. Well, normally we used to refer to car crashes as accidents, but they are not accidents really.
Right.
We have to make consciousness to the people. Why or how we can improve this to the public common?
So this is a great point. In public health, we try to say that, accidents are things that are acts of God, that there could be nothing to have prevented it. But all road crashes are preventable, and we have proven measures with designing the roads to protect those vulnerable road users like pedestrians. Think of young children or elderly people. They can be quite erratic when they're walking across the street. I have 2 young kids, and they just sometimes run into the road after a butterfly or a ball. So you need to have a system that allows for human error. And that's how we use a safe system approach. So we design the roads in the best possible way. We control for speed through things like speed humps, but also through enforcement. We educate people through the media campaigns. We control through police enforcement. All these things combined lead to a place that allows for human error. And you might have crashes, you might have collisions, but if the speed is kept down, they won't be fatal.
So how can in Quito can make this road safety a priority? How can we do that?
I think it starts with things like this, having journalists talking about it and putting it on the public profile, keeping it in the public discourse can really shape the political will to act on it. We're supporting a team here in Quito and also in Guayaquil to support the government agencies in the Secretary of Mobility, the Mayor's Office, the ANT, as well as the enforcement agents to really build up their capacity. But we need the public to demand these kinds of investments and actions from the government. So I really think the journalists and media have a big role to play.
Okay. Finally, for this interview, what can you say to people to understand this kind of issues, this kind of road safety? What is your lead message to the people? So
again, the lead message is road injuries and crashes and fatalities are preventable. We know what works. Unfortunately, in Ecuador, we just released a report with the National Traffic Agency that showed over 2,300 people die every year. It's the 7th leading cause of death. So this is a really high-ranking cause of death, but we know what works. We want everyone to be safe using the roads. We want everyone to have, the ability to walk, to bike, to use a motorcycle or a car, to use public transportation. We need all of those mobility options to work. And if we design roads for the most vulnerable road users, so think your grandmother, needing a wheelchair. If we design the road for that person, it's going to be safe for everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ha sido la presencia de Becky Bavinger, que ha estado aquí en los estudios de El Comercio. Muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes y que tengan un resto de jornada espectacular.